Pornography. We all know, and many people voice concerns about it at the moment. They voice concerns about the danger of porn addiction leading to impaired sexual function. Talk about unrealistic expectations it generates, particularly among the youths of today. We hear a lot about some folks needing more and more and crazier stuff. And South Park famously initiated the term Brazilian fart porn in that spirit. There's all signs. Also, obviously, there's a disturbing disparity between the wrist girth of left and right-handed teenage men due to self-pleasures. And, of course, we could potentially, and this is terrible, normalise bad, dangerous, violent and bizarre sexual behaviours. So pornography's got a litany of problems. We hear about this all the time. But you don't have to worry because science is stepping in. And what it's discovered is, just like with pornography, science has discovered, like with everything, exactly like you've been warning me for years, Will, it's more about quality than it is about quantity.
It's time for a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant, an Associate Professor in Science Communication at the Australian National University.
And I am, with apologies, Rod Lambert's a 30-year science communication veteran with the mind of a teenage boy.
And this might be a bit of a teenage boy episode for you because as well as quality, not quantity in the pornography world, we also have fighting dongs.
We got a life hack I can finally get on board with.
We're going to see if people want to get the flu.
Of course they do. I'm going to tell you a quick story about sex on mushrooms.
Beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful.
So freaking grown up, this podcast.
Hey, mushrooms are very grown up.
I love mushrooms.
Hallucinogens are not for children.
No, that's true. That is definitely true.
Well, I don't know, actually. I've not met any children that I'm aware who are on the hallucinogenics.
And I don't think it is recommended. Like, I haven't looked into the government guidelines on psilocybin for the under 12s.
Hang on, honey. I'm just checking if it's okay.
I'm guessing government says no, don't do that. But,
Can you imagine that?
But who knows?
Yeah, I know. You got to look it up. What you got to do is check with your experts. This has nothing to do with that, though. So, look, we know this about pornography. It's never been more easy to get abundant material.
Are you sure? Like,
yes.
Like, what if it was super easy? I mean,
porn. I don't mean sex slaves in the thousands of years ago.
I was thinking, like the Kama Sutra temple in India or something. Like, you go there and you have. Okay, probably.
Let's talk about that.
Probably not the amount that is on
was it a temple
and the internet.
Was that real?
The Kama Sutra temple.
It was just a temple where people.
Yeah, no, you go there
and their sutras,
and all of the sutras are up chiseled into the wall.
And are you obliged to go? Hang on, let's just see if that one actually works.
I suspect in the original temple there was the doing of it.
A lot of religious obeisances.
Yeah, no, it was certainly religious sex that they were doing. They were finding.
It's all religious, man.
Nirvana.
It's all religious. Yeah. So look, it's never been more easy, as we said, even probably compared to the Kama Sutra temple. And it's led to more and different kinds of research on porn, its effects on people, etc.
Yeah.
We know this. There's a lot of that. And it gets you all these fancy headlines, some more or less salubrious, etc.
These podcasters love talking about research on porn.
They do.
It's like the researchers are like, you know what, this will get on the podcasts.
It will.
It'd be so hard to get it.
And they're right. Only this one. I mean, we might be the only one that talks about it. And in your defence, I might be the only one on. Oh, have you ever? You have. Sure. You've talked
looked
about
at pornography.
The sex on the podcast.
I'm sure I have. Yeah, no, of course.
Your parents listen to this, don't they?
Yeah, look. But anyway.
I apologise. So here's a headline that caught my eye from Futurism. I do like that. Scientists say go ahead, keep gooning. As long as it's for the right reasons.
Keep gooning. They went straight to gooning.
Straight to gooning.
Oh, did the scientists say this or did the headline writers say this?
Well, the headline writers said this.
You haven't said what journal this is, but I'm really hoping that Nature has an article on gooning.
This piece that I'm going to refer to, or is referred to in this study, was, I think, in one of the Nature journals. No, International Journal of Sexual Health. We'll get to that. So this is the headline of the story about the study. And for those of you who don't know what gooning is, I've just got to, set the scene straight. And I want to thank Urbano Turbano on the Urban Dictionary.
Urbano Turbano.
That's the handle.
I don't know if that's the birth certificate name of this person.
You don't know that it isn't?
I'm hoping that's a glorious name.
What do we call him, honey? I'm thinking something with a turban. Turbano? Urban Turbano. So it says, this is the definition that works best for us. For males, gooning. The act of becoming completely self-absorbed with your penis and masturbation, such that your face and mannerisms take on the personality of a goon. In this instance, that is tongue out, vacant expression, grunting, muttering, etc.
Oh, okay.
Lost in
Are
yourself.
they saying that's the origin of, like, that you look like a goon, like a thug?
Yeah.
Like
No, not so much a thug. They mean goon in the sense of just like...
Yeah, I get it. But I didn't know it came from goon. Like in the 50s, a goon
Yeah,
was
hired goons.
Yeah, hired goons.
These are my hired goons.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, potentially so.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
It goes on. Urbano, or it could be Miss or Mrs. or Mr. or Master or they, Urbano, goes on to say, men gooning often prefer hours of edging/erection to actual release/orgasm.
Okay.
So it's about getting close and staying there.
Yeah.
And it finishes off, it's an artifact of modern times and plentiful porn.
Look, I'm sure there were Victorian gooners. They just didn't know the word yet.
Fuck yeah, there were.
They
And Sting, like
their
he got
top-
it from his
Sting. Yeah, Sting's
practices.
Sting's been gooning for forever.
Yeah, way before the internet. And he was gooning, but with a buddy.
But anyway,
I don't know. I think gooning is a solo activity.
Yeah.
As
Anyway.
technically, so is the watching or consumption, as some people put it, of pornography.
No, that's not solo. But the point of gooning, I think, is solo.
You're alone. Yeah, you don't want any other bugger getting in the way.
Unless you're in one of the world championships. There is world championships.
What?
You haven't seen it?
Believe it
Or
or not.
heard of it? I've read and
Someone
there's
read an
links,
article to me.
and there's links, and I'm like, I don't need to click that. But yeah, there are. I think they're held in San Francisco every so often. The World Championships of Masturbation.
But did you click it? Whether
No,
you
I
needed
didn't. I was like, you know what? I don't. It had a little bit like excerpts of the winners and whatever.
What?
It's like, oh,
Please tell me you mean giving a speech.
you're. I'd like to thank my mother.
Well, better than, and here was the final moment where he won. You're like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, like.
But anyway, so the interesting sentence there and related to this article is an artifact of modern times and plentiful porn.
Yes.
So this is what's sort of being challenged in this study, the plentifulness.
Are they saying porn is not plentiful on the internet?
No, they're not. What they are challenging in the quality versus quantity thing is it's not straight numbers. So this paper, which was, as I said earlier, in the International Journal of Sexual Health, some folks in Hungary, University of Pech, something like that.
Uh-huh.
They said, let's be smarter. Let's be smart scientists. They went, okay, look, there's a major gap in the literature about pornography because they talk about how frequently it's used by people, not much about it. And they act as if frequency alone tells you all you need to know about harmful use, misguided use, etc. You use it a shitload, you're fucked up.
Yeah, okay.
You use it less, you're less likely to be fucked up. I'm summarising.
Let's assume it has some role to play.
Not saying it doesn't. They're just saying it basically seems to be the only,
just
the
to
only game
compare,
in town.
Just to compare with your occasional dabbler versus that guy in. You remember Seven?
You have a teenage son. We'll call him.
No, I'm just thinking of Seven. Do you remember?
I do.
And there was the guy that every wall of his house was lined with porn, and he made like a porn helmet sort of thing.
But that's not.
I feel like that's not a frequent dabbler, and I feel like that's indicative of problems. So,
Yeah, but look, you're not supposed to judge people from afar. That's the
From a movie,
the
anyway, that's
Goldwater principle. So they said they were interested in whether these different motivations for using porn are linked to different patterns of sexual and emotional functioning. Sounds obvious to look for that. But their argument is that often that's not what happens. They just kind of go, you seem fucked up, you look at a lot of porn, you're fucked up because you look at a lot of porn. And the pivotal phrase is a lot. So they're saying, no, it seems to be more like the reasons for watching are what matters.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Is this for research? Like,
Yeah, this
if
is
you're doing
research.
porn, looking at porn for journal articles, then it's all legit.
Yeah, you're fine. Even I looked at 1,000 last week, and you're like, yeah, but for research, it's stats. It's just stats.
What are the range of reasons?
Well, they don't go into every one. They give you some.
Do they give more than?
Well, it turns out, I mean, look, there are people who might look at the pornographies not just to do the self-touch. They might have other reasons. So they did a study, right? They got 890 adult Hungarians. And as they put it very specifically, 600 individuals assigned female at birth and 290 assigned male at birth.
Okay.
Which is unusual, more biologically female than male. Anyway, and of course they used an anonymous online survey. You hold your critique till the end, because there are critiques. So their somewhat surprising finding. Frequent use when driven by positive emotions and motivations was linked to less sexual deactivation, as in less emotional withdrawal from
So
sexuality.
positive emotions. So you're going in with a positive feeling.
I really want to have a wank.
I'm feeling positive.
really
about
wanna
this.
see-
This is going to be good.
Yep, it's going to be fun. I'm doing
Versus someone going in, this is going to be bad. I'm going to hate this.
I hate me and everyone in it.
Okay.
So if you watch 200 positive ones and entertained yourself, and the other one
Was
went
it
in going,
was
I
it
hate
saying positive pictures, or was it saying
motivations for going in?
The
not
motiva- yeah, so-
they're
so-
motivations.
yeah.
I'm going in for this horrific murder porn, but I feel really happy about it, and I'm going to watch heaps of it.
What?
But my motivations are positive.
Oh God.
So yeah, but they were saying positive motivations were linked to less being sort of emotionally withdrawn, etc., from sex and stuff. So they say positive motivations like enhancing sexual pleasure, exploring fantasies, or deepening intimacy could be associated with frequent but non-problematic porn use.
Okay.
And it can be adaptive sexual regulation, not maladaptive.
Right.
But only problematic use, not frequent use, was associated with this kind of disengaged.
Problematic use is associated with problematic things.
Yeah. Yeah, problem porn use is associated with using porn,
And so,
porn
so,
for
so
problematic
basically they're
reasons.
saying if you go into your porn with problematic intention, like...
Yeah, doing it a lot could exacerbate your problematic
And
attention.
what is the problematic intention? Like you're feeling...
People with negative emotions and motivations, such as stress reduction, emotional escape, or avoidance of discomfort, that was strongly linked
Okay,
to...
avoidance it. Like, okay, I
You're going-
don't want to do my,
yeah, my exam.
write my essay.
I'm going to
so
whack
I'll-
off 9 times.
Yeah, okay, that's not going to help.
No,
would
because you'll
you-
miss your exam.
You will.
Unless you do it in the exam and then you've got other things.
Again, not good.
Other issues. So yeah, they're saying, look, it's the negative versus the positive. So basically people in that space doing it for stress reduction, emotional escape, blah, 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 they were strongly linked to sexual system hyperactivation, so overly
This is the
focused.
good or the bad?
The bad.
Oh.
Emotional regulation difficulties and impaired relational functioning.
Are we correlating here? I mean, is this...
Yes,
like-
we are.
Yeah.
We're correlating online self-reports.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So the results, here we go. From a practical standpoint, quoting the authors, it is more useful to look at whether someone feels out of control or distressed by their porn use, not how often they watch it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I said about my heroin use. It's like, I don't feel out of control or distressed.
Yeah, whereas
So
I
fuck off.
felt really distressed. So, yeah.
That's why you quit, right?
My God.
So yeah, the bottom line, as you so aptly found out or saw through, porn use is only problematic when it's a problem. That's my summary. So the study has a couple of limitations. Everyone is shocked and reeling. They're all self-reports, and as if people would bolster or shame or indeed reveal weird porn stuff when they're self-reporting and anonymous, imagine. Also, motivations aren't necessarily pure and distinct. So you could seek pleasure and want to distract yourself from stress. I want to be happy and not think about my exam.
I'm sorry to these lovely Hungarian scientists, but I don't know.
And they are
I
lovely.
don't know if this has told us anything that we didn't know.
What are you talking about? The only thing I'll say, this is the thing that I will take away from this, which I think is important. It's the moral side, I'm sorry. The whole idea that frequency is not a synonym for problematic. And that's the thing, I don't like seeing quantity used as a proxy for quality. That's the only thing when I read that, I went,
so
at
here's
least
the
there's
thing.
that.
If you have a happy intention when you spend
8 hours a day on porn,
8 hours a day on porn,
Don't
then
worry about
it's
it.
fine.
You're cool.
It's fine. But if you go in sad for 1 minute a month, that's not...
no, that's not frequent though.
Yeah, oh, okay.
So the frequency argument, that's my only real takeaway. Other than that, I'm like, yes, bad use of things can lead to badnesses and good use can lead to goodnesses. Thank you.
Thank you.
University of Petrk.
All right, I'm going to point you towards a mystery.
Punch me? Oh, point me.
Point you towards a mystery and give you some new information about this mystery. And the mystery is that compared to the other great apes, the bonobos, the chimpanzees, the orangutans, and the gorillas,
I love that, like ratus.
human penises are longer and thicker than expected.
Duh.
Yeah, there's a great... I'm
Is
gonna,
this where I go, damn straight?
so there's a new study in PLOS Biology, and I'll talk about it in a sec. But I just wanted to point you...
Public lines of
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it's about biology.
important.
But they've got this great diagram where they've got...
A dick diagram?
Yes, but it's not... It's,
Chimp dick, bonobo dick, man dick.
yes, but they've kind of been a little bit opaque with it. So what
would
they've
stop
got
doing
is, you know, the man symbol with the circle with the arrow pointing out. They've done a version of that.
Oh, that's the man. I always get confused which one's the woman, which one's the man with those.
I think just assume the one that looks more dickish, then
I'd never thought of that.
then it's easier.
Okay.
So anyway, so
they've
I'll
gone
show you the
beyond.
diagram. So
Okay.
they've got a circle for average body size. So
Right,
we're going
right.
from your bonobos, which is, you know, smaller,
Yep.
then up to the chimpanzees, then us,
Yep.
and then orangutans about us, I think, and then gorillas, obviously.
This is dick size or
No,
proportional
this is body size.
Right,
So,
okay.
so just to show that,
Okay.
you know, we're in the middle of the great apes.
of your body size?
We're not gorillas, but now then they've also put your balls on there, how big they are.
Obviously.
Bonobos got the big balls compared to body size.
Do they?
Humans, average and smaller. But then they put the penis as like the arrow coming out the top. And
no.
If we look here, compared to body size,
Oh
humans,
my God.
I know. Like, there you go. So
Thank you.
be happy with that, I guess. If you're ever nude next to a gorilla,
And you think, I'm going to die right now. At least my dick's bigger than yours.
at least...
And I'll take that to the
at least you
grave.
go- But it is a bit of a mystery. It's a mystery, like, why would we have done that?
I'd thank my father and his father before him.
Yeah, all the way back.
Oh, you don't mean
All the way
specifically?
back. No, I think dick
right.
size comes from the mother's side. Maybe?
They used to tell me that about hairlines as I watched mine turn into my father's and went, bullshit.
Yeah, no, me too. But
Bullshit.
But so the authors of this study, 13 years ago, they published what they called a landmark study, which I think is fair enough. They presented women, and let's go with heterosexual women here,
Look at these cocks, eh?
with 343 videos of anatomically correct 3D computer-generated male figures. So these are like
343.
yeah,
That's
I
exhausting.
think I remember some of our students participated in this study. I think
Are
it was
you
it was quite a viral study. I remember a student
so
saying
many.
300. Yeah,
How many dicks do you need to...
so we're not just looking at the dicks. We're looking at their
body height.
It's three things basically that they were varying: shoulder size, shoulder width, height, and penis size. If they were just getting to a few broad characteristics that might be associated with male attractiveness, and so So basically, they're saying which is going to be more attractive to these women that are rating, and so they're looking. The women are looking
Big shoulder, small dick. Safe, but not like scary.
Okay. But they're looking at the whole lot, the whole package, as it were. And as you can guess, the 3D characters that were more attractive, so we don't have face, we don't have anything else.
We don't have apparent wealth.
Generally, women preferred taller men with broader shoulders and larger penis. So, it's
So there were literally 300-something options, and they took a mean...
343. And so of the ones that were taller, they preferred those ones. So,
they preferred taller, wider, and longer.
Yeah, so not unexpected. But the point there is sexual attraction. That penis size would then be one of the indicators of sexual attractiveness. Not a great surprise, and so that would indicate
a reason to have a big dong.
A reason that humans have grown a bigger dong.
I know, that's why I did.
Yeah, as a choice.
Absolutely.
But they said, look, this is a gap because there could be other things that are going on here as well as sexual attractiveness. And so they've done a new study.
Oh, is it cock length and IQ? Please tell me it's cock length and IQ.
No, they didn't.
Can you imagine? Well, is it up or down?
Look, there's stereotypes about this, but...
Are there really?
Well, certainly the ancient Romans would be like, if ancient Romans had
Maximus?
IQ and IQ...
You are smart.
Yeah, I don't think they quite had that, but they were very much like big dongs mean you're a barbarian.
You should be... you're dumb.
Yeah, no, dumb.
What's they thought
they were like, that's brutish and...
I want to now Italian men to this day. No, I want the small. Look how smart I am.
But they said, okay, let's throw men into this. They asked the men, consider, would they be more attractive to women? So they're not attractive to themselves, but
what would make them more attractive to them?
Who out of these? So we're rating the same sorts of things. How high, how attractive they are.
Would this dude be more or less attractive to women?
Yeah, but they also said, which one's going to be more dangerous in a fight? So
the dude with the gun.
So again, they got a whole bunch of participants with the same 343 figures.
No way it's dick length, because a long dick is a liability when you're trying to get out of a scrape.
Well...
Or squeeze through a small gap.
That's what you would think. Like, if you're nude fighting, you're like... and particularly with the gorilla.
A hell of a distraction, though. If someone's got a giant flopper, you're like, I can't fight you.
So, again, for women, this is the older study and the new study. Larger penis, greater height, and V-shaped upper body all increased man's attractiveness.
Yeah.
But there's a diminishing effect. Beyond a certain point, further increases in penis size or height, and I'm just imagining these 3D figures.
9 feet tall, the 40-inch dick, and you're like, no.
They cap out. Yeah, so surprisingly, women don't want, a 40-foot tall guy with
a javelin. I'm not looking for a spear right now.
But men, however, bigger
the better? Fuck, we're idiots.
So, unsurprisingly, they said taller guys are going to be more attractive, broader shoulders are going to be more attractive, but also larger penises are going to be an indicator of greater fighting ability.
Really? So it's just more man. More dick equals more man equals more fight.
If you're seeing some nude pictures and you go, which one of these can fight? And one's got the big dong.
I feel like I wouldn't go to the dong. I'd be like, how big are they? Do they look really wiry? Do they look fat?
I would certainly go on height and broad shoulders would be a fighting ability.
Over your ding dong.
But there you go. Now you know. If you're nude in the locker room, dongs are not just a sexual attractiveness or a sign of sexual hierarchy, but there's a fighting hierarchy too. So.
That's why the Picts or the Celts would fight with their ding dongs out.
Oh, and the Greeks, they love a bit of that.
No, that was wrestling.
No, the Greeks loved a bit of fighting with the ding dongs out. Yeah, no, I think the Greeks loved a lot of
things with the ding dong out. They were pioneers.
They were. So there you go.
Democracies and ding dongs out.
You learn something every day.
Here's a life hack. You know, I don't like life hacks, right? They make me mad. But look, I mean, there are some that I can actually get on board with because they suit me, and this might be one of them. So there's research that talks about psychedelic drugs, and has been around for a long time, that talks about positive health outcomes. So a study in 2021, people who use hallucinogenic drugs like psilocybin and LSD and mescaline had lower risks of developing heart disease and diabetes.
Really? Really?
Yeah, 2021. I did not have time to pull apart all these studies, but I smell there might be a follow-up one day on some of this stuff. There was another one, studies suggesting that people who have periodically used psychedelics recreationally were less likely to be overweight or obese.
Oh, okay.
Tripping balls don't want to eat. I don't know. Recent very promising one said when they look at the ways these drugs can help dementia and dementia symptoms and also things like PTSD. So lots of potential positives. You hear about lots of sort of mid-level business types in the US who go and take the ayahuascas and so on and they come back feeling better about the world.
Yep.
So there's a lot of that sort of stuff going on. And yeah, it's all 100% definitely guaranteed. Without a doubt, it's smart to trip balls. You get all these benefits. No question. You heard it here first. Kids, grown-ups, people with medical conditions, all of you should be taking trips regularly.
I don't think that's the results of the study.
In large quantities. So here's a better one. This is probably my favourite one. It was done by people, Baylor College of Medicine and Emory University, two of my favourite universities and colleges. And it was done in Nature Partnering Journal Aging. So that's cool. I don't know if a partnering journal means you're a lesser quality participant. But anyway, in Nature. It's in Nature.
Journal's
Nature's
dancing.
great. Nature. So the main researcher, she's an associate professor of cardiovascular research. Louise. She says, look, the overwhelming majority of what we know about psilocybin is how it impacts the brain. Most of the research is on drugs and brain.
We're not looking at drugs and kneecaps.
We're not.
Like, weirdly.
Like, does this help you regenerate your ACL? But she said, look, our findings suggest psilocybin has potent effects on the entire body, including anti-aging properties. That's why I'm excited. Anti-aging. Yeah. So they did a study and they had what they called medium-sized doses of psilocybin. Psilocybin. That's what I meant. It is psilocybin. Psilocybin's, that's the enemies in Battlefield
It's
Earth.
definitely a transformer. No, is it? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, they're cyclos.
Yeah.
Yeah, psilocybin. Anyway, the drug. They tested it on older mice.
Come for your pronunciation here. This guy, like...
Pronunciation. So they tested it on older mice and then on human cells, some of them fetal lung cells and some adult skin cells. So that's what they tested, these mild doses of magic shrooms. And what they found was an effect on telomeres.
Oh, your telomeres?
Telomeres. And your telomeres are, it's considered a hallmark of aging. So, for people who don't know, they sit at the end.
If you've got a girthy telomere, you've got a long time to live.
Yeah, you want long ones. You want long ones too. Because when cells divide, at the end of the chromosome, you've got your telomeres. It's like the little end on they often talk about being like the tip on the end of your shoelace.
Yep.
And as those get frayed and stuff or tangled, every time the cell divides...
every time the cell divides, it trims a little bit.
It trims a little bit off, They get a bit shorter and shorter, and eventually they get so short they can't divide and they cark it.
Yep.
So we'd rather not, apparently. But this study seems to show that telomeres shorten more slowly after being given psilocybin than they would have without.
The telomere,
The telomeres do not back off as fast.
Okay.
So you're literally talking about increasing the lifespan of the cell.
How much are we?
Balls.
How much do we need to do this?
Moderate doses, medium level.
Like you have to stay on shrooms the whole time?
Hope so. Well, it's better though. Like they're not quite saying, okay, here's how much you need to take to live longer.
Yeah, sure.
Because they're scientists, so they're being wusses. The research also, they showed on the mice that are treated with it, they showed improvements in overall fur quality. Obviously.
That's
why hippies are always hairier.
I just like the PhD student that has to do the fur quality assessment.
Your
hair's looking so luscious.
You are one lush older mouse. Also showed increased survival skills.
Getting out of the lab, I think, is an increased survival skill for a mouse.
No, literally. For however measured, the tripping mice increased survival skills.
What sort of skills?
Survival.
Man, because I feel like the Alone, like it's like Survivor, but it's more real, like the TV show. So Survivor, you're all on an island and you play games.
Is that where you're naked and you also try to hit on the cool chick because you're a dweeb?
No.
In a house?
No, that's dating naked. Or
Geeks on the Charge.
Nude Island, something like that. But no, Alone...
Non-molestation reality show.
Alone is a TV show that is the closest to what is a survivalist like. So they get dropped off in the wilderness. Right. They're all a couple of kilometres from each other and they have a competition.
Here's some matches and a loincloth. You're in the Antarctic. We'll see you in a month.
You can take a limited amount of stuff. Like you can take an axe, a knife and a fishing rod.
A chef, a fully stocked kitchen.
No, but there's a limited amount. And then it's like, okay, you got to see how long you can survive before.
Okay.
I feel like an added version where we put half of them on shrooms and I just...
Now I'd watch it.
Oh my God.
Well, if they're mice, they're going to get lush hair and they're going to do better. Sounds like tripping to me. You get better at survival, maybe because you see more possibilities.
Oh, okay.
You see through space and time.
Yeah.
And you don't get cold because you're furrier if you're a mouse. But of course, these researchers go on to say, look, there's still a lot more to understand. We shouldn't generalize from a single study. Maybe it's a correlational thing, blah, 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 blah. But the author does say, look, psilocybin may represent a disruptive agent that promotes healthy aging. The next step, they want to explore therapeutic effects across multiple age-related diseases. They want to do that as a next step. I'm prepared to selflessly volunteer.
Go on.
Because I want the survival skills.
Go on. Yeah.
I don't care about getting high because that's just only losers do drugs.
Get high in like an army disposal shop or something like that.
Fuck, I love a good army disposal
just
shop.
Look at all the opportunities for survival.
I feel like I get high when I walk into one of those. I'm like, oh, look what you could do with that. And I can never use this, but I wonder, and this is possible.
So good.
I go into my post-apocalyptic dream scenarios immediately, like, oh, I'll get one of these and 5 of those, and then I'd get a gun, even though I'm against guns. It'd be fantastic. Plus tripping, plus living longer, gives me time to enact all these theories. Thank you, science.
So sometimes we cover studies here on a little bit of science for the results.
Yes.
But sometimes we cover them for
the fashions.
The method. You know, the thing, the things that our friends in the sciences might do to inquire into the world. Now, this study's asking legitimate questions and it tells some interesting-ish answers, but I just like the method.
Are you going to contest the way in which these questions
No,
were
not at all.
asked?
No, I'm not contesting anything here. I'm just... Well, so I know you've recently come off a bout of man flu.
I have, and I did not like it.
What level of did not like was it? Like it wasn't the fluke?
Well, I doubt it because it was quick. Like it was a week, but it was a shit week. Super tired, super snotty, headaches, aching in places that I thought, oh my God, this injury's gotten worse. And then I realised it hadn't gotten worse. It was just impaired by the system around it. I wasn't a happy boy.
Yeah, no.
And I had no motivation to be sick. I wasn't missing work or anything. So
I had no motivation to be sick.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to avoid anything. Like normal men get man flu.
I'm not even doing anything here.
No, this is shitting me off. I actually want to do stuff. That's the worst kind of sickness. So yeah, it wasn't great.
But I'm just going to...
I disenjoyed it.
I appreciate your man flu and say, okay, I empathise with you, but I came off the real thing last year.
You did.
The influenza.
You kept us from recording for like 7 months or something.
Like that. But I keep saying influenza because, you know, when people go, it's like, no, this stuff, you can understand why it kills people. It's a brutal disease. Like it's...
you coughed like a 90-year-old man with emphysema for 2 months.
That was even after, like, the whole disease was gone. It scars your lungs so much that, it's basically like Road Warrior inside your lungs.
That's desirable. That makes your lungs more efficient.
It's a horrible thing. So anyway, these researchers said, well, there's more we need to know about influenza, and in particular,
they're not wrong,
how it transmits between people. Like we've always known, it goes from people to people.
Yes,
and we've always, not always, but we've long had a pretty good assumption that it comes out of the coughs and the sneezes.
The body goo-goos.
Yeah, and lands on other people. But there haven't actually been very many studies that have looked at, okay, how does it actually spread?
Sorry, I know you're going to tell me this, but it blows my mind. I mean, I remember we covered a story not long after COVID, where the amount of effort that had to go into proving to people that that goo could become small enough to particulate and flow through the air. And it took some kind of physicist who said, I'm going to look at biology.
Yeah, totally.
It breaks my brain how primitive our science of this stuff is.
But a lot of it we can go, how much, it was a big legitimate debate, how much, early COVID, is it hand washing? How much can we stop with good air conditioning or good filtering? So there's, or masks. Yeah. So there's a lot of actual questions there.
Sure.
But the other way around for the flu, there's a bit of me that says, we know coughing and sneezing all over someone is probably going to...
stay away from the gross shit that's coming out of people's heads. Yeah.
But anyway, researchers at the University of Maryland said, well, we actually need to try and understand, what components of how much a person is shedding virus, that's sneezing on people, or the temperature and the humidity of the room, how close people are to one another.
Sure.
So they got some volunteers.
To lick Petri dishes.
No, not quite. Well, the human version. They brought together groups of participants in a hotel room, mixing people with active influenza, so people who actively have influenza.
Are you going to tell me this, or did they actually actively infect them?
No, they got people that had it...
From birth, yeah.
Not from birth. They got it. I think...
You just go around the office at the university.
Who's got influenza?
You seem shitty sick. Let's test you.
Okay. They were referred to as the donors, and they got some uninfected volunteers. And I'm like,
referred to as the suckers.
I don't want to volunteer for that. Referred to as recipients.
Sure. I hope they got $9,000 each.
And their goal was to see whether flu would spread under conditions designed to favour transmission. Now,
this could get sinister really
they
quickly.
shoved them in a hotel room. They had a couple of different versions of the experiment.
All I'm seeing right now is Clockwork Orange, strapped to a chair with the eyes held open and the nostrils flared.
But they're doing
while
a whole
people
bunch
go,
of, like they're sitting in the hotel room playing board games, watching TV together, spending time
just hanging
together.
out in the same room.
Yeah, and the ways that, diseases spread, hanging out in the same room.
Windows closed, I assume.
So one version, there's one donor with 8 recipients, and another, there's 4 donors with 3 recipients. I'm a bit scared. We're going to put you in a room with 4 people with the flu. I love this.
And you got to sit in the middle.
Donors were aged 20 to 22. It's
they cover the full range.
This is the full range of university students who wouldn't mind $50 to get the flu.
And then give it to someone else.
I don't know if it was $50. So.
I don't mind playing board games. I feel like shit anyway. 20 to 22.
Yeah.
Were they first-year psych students as well? That's the only thing missing.
The room was kept at temperatures and humidity levels thought to favour influenza transmission from like 22 to 25. But that's sort of normal room temperatures.
What's the humidity they tell
20 to 45%. They didn't get up to sauna, raining sort of situation.
Okay.
Now, they did a whole bunch of controlling the situation, when you're going in, making sure that the donors and the recipients aren't seeing each other outside the rooms and stuff like that.
No, you can't cheat on that.
Closed off the major uncontrolled airway pathways.
Shut the windows.
Yes.
Shut the doors.
And a leak in the fan coil units. So
seal off the fans.
The researchers...
And weirdly, everyone suffocated before we got the results.
But the researchers... So they're sealing them in the room. Over 3 to 7 days, spending hours together.
God, I'm sure they don't tell you this, but the protocol around it, like people screaming and banging on the doors, let me out. And they're like, no, you signed up for this. Philip Zimbardo's in the background going,
I imagine Stanford prison experiment,
exactly.
But they've got the flu. Like
you agreed.
They don't seem to be in there the whole time. It's spending hours together.
So they could have been subjected to it outside. Anyway, carry on.
They played card games at close range, took part in dance and yoga classes, and passed around a shared object, such as markers, microphones, or tablet computers. But it did sound like they're passing the doobie.
Or an ice cream.
So researchers are monitoring the transmission, the exhaled air, so they know that there's influenza going in the air, and they're checking
so it is circulating.
People,
yeah.
And they're testing the shared objects and the room air and the participants got some symptoms: coughing, sneezing, headaches.
Yes.
But none of them actually tested positive for the flu. So
none got flu.
None. So they're squeezing people into this room,
licking each other's tongues, and forcing them to live together in a sealed room.
And this is the thing that got me. I'm like,
none.
Wow,
none.
This is, but this is heartening. My wife and I recently had the flu, and our kids didn't get a drop of it, and I sort of blamed that on
youth.
Teenagers, youth, yes, but also teenagers disappearing into their rooms and not being
smart.
Not being around us. But it's actually not a guarantee. If you're sitting in a room with someone with the flu and they're huffing and cuffing and blinding, nothing. Now, they reckon it could have been, maybe they weren't actually sneezing as much as they should. They sort of kicked some more coughs out of them. Maybe the recipients had some partial immunity before,
Sure.
So there was
they
definitely...
didn't do full blood workups.
Yeah, they'd all been vaccinated in the past few years. Some had been vaccinated that year.
Sure.
I think some had it before. So there wasn't a guarantee. That's it. It's like, you can be safe in this. But I'm not advocating if your colleague has the flu that...
lock yourself in a room.
You should sit there next to them and pass the doobie.
No, you should have done that already. That's how you got the flu.
But things might be all right. So there you go. And also...
Oh, we need more. We need more on this, though. They've got to get deeper on this one.
Would you volunteer for that?
No. No, that's not true. If I already had it, sure, fuck, who cares?
Oh, you could be the donor.
Absolutely. I love donating.
Yeah,
I donate shit all the time.
Will you cough on other people for a study?
I'm a giver.
Can you imagine that?
Would you sit in this room? No, don't put your hand up. Where do you want me to put my tissues? In the middle of the table's
just
fine.
Sort of throw them at people. Everyone gets a tissue. Hide them in their shoes.
Touch their faces a lot, affectionately or aggressively.
I do not want to be a recipient in a donor study on the flu.
No, but I will donate.
There you go.
Listen, I'll donate. I got one little type. I can't end a story that had a lot of mushrooms in it, or as an episode, without a little mention of sex on mushrooms. So this is from early 24, so a year and a bit ago, published in Nature Scientific Reports. So this is 100% real, 100% guaranteed.
Before we get to the answer of what shrooms, this is magic mushrooms.
Yeah, this is your psilocybins again.
What was the research question that made them say, we need to know do people on magic mushrooms have better or worse sex? I mean,
You be getting high. How's the rootin' feel?
but is there a legitimate one where it's like people with sexual dysfunction? Like,
it wasn't about sexual dysfunction, but at the Imperial College of London's Centre for Psychedelic Research, and that I didn't know even, they were curious to see if there are improvements or changes in sexual conditions for people who are already taking them for other reasons. They're like, let's look at the sex stuff. Because as a rule, it's only been anecdotal. People just sort of say, get trippy and rooting's fun, unless you're freaking out and then it's not. So it's all anecdotal, get high, get laid, yay. And they went, well, let's be University College London about this. So they went, all right, we've got a bunch of people who've been taking the mushrooms for different reasons. It could be for depression, it could be for recreational reasons, it could be ceremonial, other kinds of mental health, which is fine. So they got 261 people, and they said, all right, here's a self-report sexual experience questionnaire. And they filled it in once before they took the mushrooms, and then twice after they'd taken the drugs. It could have just been one-offs. So 4 weeks after they'd taken the trip and 6 months after. Once before, 4 weeks after, 6 weeks after. And they said, look, nearly half of the participants who took it, particularly for depression, clinical depression, they said they got increased arousal and interest in sex, which is really unusual because many of them are on antidepressants that pull away libido and ability to get orgasm. So that's actually quite
that's good.
Standout. Like, you're feeling depressed and terrible and you're on antidepressant meds. Take some shrooms, you might be more into it.
Were the shrooms helping with the depression? I mean, is this solving the depression, and then as the depression is solved, it can do, returning to sexual health?
This study didn't cover it, but there are studies that suggest it's helpful for depression as well, and you get a bonus effect.
Yeah, I've certainly heard ketamine and psilocybin both being used as treatments for the untreatable depression or the worst version that's just
crippling anxieties,
treatment resistant.
Yeah. So why not find out if you get hard and climax a lot, or get soft and climax a lot, whatever your proclivities are.
Great.
I said I wouldn't make it too rude. Didn't I say too rude? So they said on average, most of the participants, not just the depression ones, they got multiple facets of increased functioning and arousal. So they felt more aroused, more enjoyment, more satisfaction, more attraction, which is interesting, and a sense of sexual connection with partners. And not just sexual, just connection with partners, which is lovely. And they summarised the most significant improvements were sexual pleasure improvement, satisfaction with their own appearance, which I think is interesting, satisfaction and communication with their partner improved, and just they perceived they had a better sexual and spiritual experience when having the rooty-kills. And also, this lasted for up to 6 months. So you take one trip or equivalent of a treatment, and for up to 6 months, you could still be getting this increase.
Wow.
Which is nice. It's nice if people get that.
They're not seeing little people while they're...
No, different mushrooms.
On the job.
Different mushrooms. I don't think they take them to hallucinogenic stages. They might. Some treatments might require it. I'm not up on all of it. But you got to stress, this doesn't talk about sexual function. They didn't talk about actual ability to perform. It was perception of sexual performance.
Sure.
So it feels good. It at least feels better, even if it's not actively...
Well, that's lovely. That's great.
Exactly. So we don't know for sure. But at the very least, it makes you feel better about sex. And I've got to say, that's basically what drugs do anyway, doesn't it? Like, you get high and then you have sex, and sex is better.
That's great. Thank you.
Is that the takeaway?
Thank you. Finally, you've
I fixed it.
You've answered the thing.
Drugs and sex tend to go nicely together.
Oh my God.
But don't feel bad. You can do drugs without having sex, I think, is the takeaway. It's okay to just do drugs.
And probably the other one as well too.
Just do sex?
You can do that too.
Without drugs? Before we go, I should say, because this is a hell of a coincidence, shout out to a listener, Simran. It was a real coincidence. I was doing all these stories on mushrooms, and there were many, many more. And she sent us a piece talking about research being done at the George Institute in Sydney, Australia, on cluster headaches and, I assume, psilocybin. I didn't get a chance because of the last-minute nature of throwing this together to talk about it. But I might come back and talk to it, so please keep sending us stuff, Simran. This is awesome. And anyone else, if you got stuff, send it to us at an email address.
Why don't you know our email address?
I do. It's at
Jesus.
At Jesus. Cheers. At Jesus.
No.
Cheers at
a little bit of science.
A little bit of science.
.com.
/Jesus. .au?
AU.
Do we need an AU? Cheers at a little bit of science.com.au. Don't send it to a different country's version of this show, which doesn't exist.
A Little Bit of Science is a podcast that you have just listened to.
It is.
You can give us a rating. iTunes,
7.
Spotify, other one.
Send us money.
Yeah.
Donations are good. Gifts of all kinds.
We don't actually have a facility for that. We should do that.
Email us money then. Bitcoin.
I don't want your Bitcoin.
Well, I'll take it. I'll invest it for us.
Yeah.
We'll become 100 heirs. I can turn $1 billion into 100 overnight.